Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Beast! Peekaboo! I see you. I'm every woman. I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2026. The retro remix. Dad AF. I went to a party last Saturday night. Rock on, gold dust woman. I just wish once Stevie Nicks would comment on my video. Even if she just said like, hi. That would totally make my universe, okay? How are you guys doing today? Oh my God, listen, I have to put on some lip balm before I get into this very long video, which I know it will be. I stayed up until 10 after 7 in the morning, finishing up The Good Place last night, which I have to tell you, was one of the most fantastic shows I have ever seen in my life. And, you know, I don't typically watch sitcoms and funny shows like that, but it was so deep and endearing. You know, it was like, somebody commented on my tweet that I put out, because I put something up last night, like I have one episode left, and they said that and Schitt's Creek are two of my favorites. I mean, I love Schitt's Creek, and whenever anybody says it's like the funniest show, I'm like, yes, Schitt's Creek is so funny, but it's those endearing moments of Schitt's Creek that make it so fantastic. And The Good Place is so much like that, you know, it's so sweet and endearing, but hilarious at the same time, and, it wrapped everything up so beautifully, and, you know, I'm somebody that is constantly always thinking about, like, what is our purpose here, what's our meaning here, and I know this got real deep real quick, but that's really what the show is about, you know, it's about, these 4 people that are supposedly in the good place in heaven, and, like, all these challenges they go through and stuff like that, and it really, especially the 4th season, really made me think more about, like, you know, what are we doing here? You know, like, what will it be like after we leave here? I am a believer in an afterlife, and, you know, like, and what is our purpose? And, you know, and I'm a believer that our purpose is to continue to grow and learn on a daily basis and be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. I believe we never, like, graduate from learning, you know, unless you're resistant to it. I mean, I know so many people that are just like, I know everything, and they're so resistant to learning. I talk about half of them on this channel, you know, but I do, like, I've met a lot of those people, and I was maybe that person at some point in my life, but you know, I learned how rich and enjoyable life can be if we continue to grow. And I always say on my Peterisms channel, which thank you for all the views over there lately, I really appreciate it. I always say over there that I think that, like, life is like the school that we never graduate from, you know, that once you learn a lesson, you go to the next grade and you learn that lesson, and lessons are repeated until they are learned. I really believe that, you know. So I think that the purpose here on earth is for us to learn as much as we can to be the best possible versions of ourselves that we can be, while at the same time really truly enjoying this gift of life that was given to us, you know, and making the most of it, and, you know, developing relationships with people, and seeing unique places, and trying new things and new food and new cultures and things like that, you know, and just having the most possible fun and being too much while we're here, and displaying that and role modeling that for other people so that they can enjoy life as well. I really think that that's the true purpose of life. So, all right, let's get into this. Now, I was going to do a drama video today, and I have to tell you, I woke up, I was tired, I was like, I need my coffee. Look, I went and I got new coffee mugs. I got a mug in the kitchen, and then I got a couple of these off of Etsy, and it says coffee and crime time, because if you don't know, see, that's blood splatters. Okay. If you didn't know, I have a true crime book club. It's called a true crime book club. It's listed below, and all you have to do is go over to our Facebook group or the Goodreads thread and just join the group. That's all you have to do. So anyway, I got my coffee this morning, and I was like, what should I talk about? Because, you know, like, I'm a drama commentary channel. And I know some of you think that I am a candle review company, and if you didn't know, if you're new to my channel, I do have candles with the Poorhouse Candle Company, and they've been out of stock forever, but she brought them back. So here is Bachelor Weekend. It's PP and Peter's Bachelor Weekend, because I don't want to get super sad, but when PP was alive and Alex would go out of town for like a music festival or something, I would have PP and Peter's Bachelor Weekend, and there was a song, and it went, PP and Peter's Bachelor Weekend, PP and, I haven't sang the song since he passed away, it's PP and Peter's Bachelor Weekend, don't worry about us, cause we'll be just fine, and Boo and Tucker too. That was the song. So anyway, so she made this candle for me, and it's called Bachelor Weekend, and the candle, I will tell you, smells like my cologne. No. I also have one called Drama Class. It smells like my cologne, and it's mixed between Michael Kors, Chanel Blue, and I think it was Creed that we did. Okay, this one's a very fall scent. It smells like apples and like not pumpkin, it's very spicy. So if you like spicy, like fall scents, that's what this smells like. And then the next one that I have is Peter's Monster Bash, which was my Halloween candle. And this one smells very fallish too. I can't get it open. Yeah, this smells like leaves and coffee and apple cider, and it's fantastic. And then we have a new one coming out, so I'm working on a new one, and she is so fantastic to work with. Her candles are amazing. She's got candle waxes over there. I have a link below. If you want to go over there and order things, you can. I will tell you that I make a little bit of money off of that. So if you go order it from my link, I will make some money off that. You don't have to, though. She's got tons and tons and tons of candles. They're very, very cool. She's constantly sending me candles. So anyway, that's what I want to say. Now listen, I didn't want to make a drama video today. I just was like, I'm not really in the mood for it, to be honest with you, and sometimes I'm not. Woo! Hot potatoes up in here. So I thought I'm going to do a little old school Q&A, and I'm trying to get through these things as fast as possible because sometimes I get stuck on the questions. So I have my reading glasses. I may have to read a few fools. I don't call anybody a fool. My mother taught me that. She said that in the Bible. Somebody actually, the last time I said that, they linked it in the comment sections where it says that in the Bible. Okay, so I put out here on Twitter, and I also put it on Instagram. I feel like doing a good old-fashioned Q&A today. Leave your questions below. So I'm just going to scan. I got 100. Hold on a second. I got 131 comments, so I'm just going to like pick a few over here and then pick a few on Instagram, and I'm just going to kind of try to do some rapid fire things, okay? So Chris said, any big travel plans for when it's safe again? I'd love to see you and Alex post pictures of your vacations. Well, it's kind of sad because, so Alex and I go to Las Vegas this upcoming week. We usually go every year because it is our anniversary. We got married in Las Vegas, Nevada 8 years ago next week. And we've been together 12 years ago next week as well. So we usually go to Las Vegas for like 5 or 6 days for our anniversary. And we just do not feel like Las Vegas is safe right now to travel to. And we've had several people tell us that. And Alex's cousin lives in Las Vegas, and she was like, don't come. It's just, you know, like there's nothing open. It's not like you wouldn't want to come here right now. So we're not going to Las Vegas. We would love to go to Las Vegas or Miami, but both of those places, you know, are probably not super safe. When things open again, we will be going to Las Vegas, we will be going to Miami, and we will be going to San Diego to visit my brother-in-law, Juan, and his girlfriend, Jessie, who is just started a new business. I love her so much. She is so fantastic. If you live in San Diego, let me know, and I'll link you up with her. She just started doing raw juices, and it's called Jessie's Juices. How cute is that? And we will probably take another trip to Mexico. We really, really want to do that. So we'll see. I don't know, when things start opening up and becoming, you know, safer. We've had a lot of friends of ours that have traveled and really haven't had a huge issue. But then they've come back and they've like, you know, like quarantined and stuff like that. So I don't know. We'll have to see. We don't have any plans for any trips anytime soon. And then Elena said, what is the first place you and Alex are going to go? And Noelle said, what made you choose to do a beauty community commentary channel? Are there other communities you like watching that you might venture into? Well, I am starting a new channel. I'm starting a 6th channel called Peter Does Stuff. It will literally be me just doing, I have the 2 first videos planned. One is going to be about plants and the other one's going to be about coffee. I want a channel where I just get back to the simplicity of things. I miss the old school YouTube of people just kind of talking and doing stuff, right? So I am going to start this channel, and it's just going to be me sitting there like while I'm doing stuff with these plants, telling you guys like a story about plants in my life or why coffee is important to me. I've talked a lot about that on my vlog, The Power of Coffee, and it has a lot to do with like going to meetings when I was early in sobriety and things like that. So it'll be like a story mixed with like me making coffee and like, you know, a percolator or something like that. I fell into the beauty community because I'm coming up on my 4-year anniversary. September 1st was the first drama video I ever made. And Kat Von D and Jeffree Star were having a falling out. They're falling out over a logo that her friends made for Jeffree Star. And it was actually his star logo. And she made a video called something like You Can Do Better, Jeffree Star, and I watched it. It was trending. And then there were all these videos on the side. The other drama channels, there was like 2 at the time, was Karina and Sanders. And I started watching them, and I was like, this is a thing that people do beauty commentary. And I started just watching it. And I actually found Manny because Karina talked about him. And so Manny was probably the 2nd beauty influencer that I watched. I truly did think that his name was Manny Mua. I mean, that was a truism, okay? Like, I thought, like, I didn't know. Like, I saw a video that he did with Patrick Starr. It was called Call My Boyfriend or something. Like, this, introducing my boyfriend or whatever. And I didn't know. Like, I mean, I was like, I thought these were their names to some degree. I mean, I knew Patrick Starr wasn't Star with 3 R's. But, like, I didn't know that his name wasn't Mua, you know? Like, I really did think that was his name. So anyway, that's what I started doing. So, okay. So I got so many questions here. Kaylee Marie said, if you weren't doing YouTube, which I'm so glad you are, I've been watching you for years, what would you be doing? I'm writing right now. I got a lot of questions about if I were to write a book. I've written a book. It's been published. It's out of print right now. People send me copies or screenshots, sorry. Family friendly. Screenshots of it on Amazon where it's like $973. Don't buy it. It's not that fine of a book, but I am proud of it. It was the first book I ever wrote. I'm working on a second book. I have a literary agent that I'm working with. And so I'm working on a memoir, and I'm also working on a piece of fiction at the same time. And it's a longer process. The last book I wrote in 3 weeks. This one is not. I haven't been talking a lot about it because I'm a believer that when you talk a lot about things, that sometimes they don't happen. So probably writing would be what I would be doing. The other thing is I would love to own a restaurant. I have for a while wanted to start a restaurant called the Lemonade Stand, where you go in and it literally looks like an old school lemonade stand, and it just has like all different kinds of lemonades and things like that, and like, Rice Krispie treats and stuff like that. I think that would be, and like homemade, chocolate chip cookies. I think that would be really fun to own a restaurant. I know I have a lot of friends of mine that own bars and restaurants, and I know it's tons and tons of work. So yeah. Okay. What was your most favorite vacation you've ever been on? My most favorite vacation I've ever been on was with my dad and my stepmom, and I was like 15, and we went to St. Martin, and we used to take really extended long trips because it was hard for my dad to get away. And so we went to St. Martin, and we stayed at a resort called La Samana. I believe it still exists. And then we went to St. Bart's as well. And it was like the most amazing trip. St. Bart's is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my entire life. So that probably was probably the best trip I've ever taken in my entire life. I got a lot of questions about people wanting to see pictures of my family. Do you want to see some pictures of my family? Okay, so I took screenshots so I could throw them up here so they wouldn't be difficult. So I wanted to show you guys a picture of what my dad looked like at my age. Okay, so here it is. Here's a picture of my dad, and you can see me. I'm behind him doing the ears. That's Peter looking silly with my bleached blonde hair. I think this is actually like on some trip that we were on. So that's my dad. And then the next picture is me and my cousin Caroline. And this would probably be, I was probably sober a year at this point. Well, actually, it'll have the date on here, I can tell you. Does it have the date on here? It doesn't. Some of these are my mom's. No, but this would have been like, this was actually in here. And this was like a year after I got sober. That was me and my cousin Caroline. The next picture, I talk a lot about this on my vlog, is that my dad grew up very, very poor. And he had an outhouse till he was 21. So I found this picture and I thought this would be cute to throw up in there. So this was my dad and this was his dog when he was growing up. He and his best friend, they used to find stray dogs in the neighborhood. And they would like take care of them and like, trim their hair and like get them back into shape. And so my grandma one time like walked in to this garage that they had, and they had like 20 dogs in there that they had made beds for and they were taking care of and stuff like that. My dad is like completely obsessed with animals. That trip that I was just talking about, we came back and my dad had like 6 rolls of film, and my stepmom and I weren't in any of the pictures. It was all pictures of like lizards that my dad had taken pictures of on the beach. My dad's obsessed with animals. My dad is one of the most kindest, gentlest people in the entire world. So loving and kind towards me. Loves my husband. Just is so amazing. And I'm so thankful for him. He's, been so willing to like set limits and boundaries in my life, in my early sobriety and things like that. And it's been, it was a tough learning experience for him, to learn to do that and to have to do that. My dad in the summers, they have a duck that visits them that they call Mrs. Birdie. And so she makes a nest. And so my dad like puts this baby crib out there, and he designed this slide into the pool so Mrs. Birdie can swim in the pool and then go back in where her I know, like he's crazy with the animal stuff. So that's my dad. So I wanted to throw some old pictures of my mom up in here. So this is my mom, and this is at Estes Park, Colorado. And she has the date on here. This is 1980. And this is what I remember my mom looking like when I was young. It's gonna get me real kind of emotional. I don't know why, but like, I don't really look at a lot of pictures of my mom, and stuff. Tucker is wanting so much attention right now, but like that's what I see in my head of my mom. And then like she had really long hair at one point too. So this is another picture of my mom. This is probably, I don't know, a couple years after I was born. This is my mom. And this is my mom later in her life. This is what my mom looked like, and this is probably what I remember from like the last 10 years of my mom's life. And then everybody wants to know what my grandma looks like, okay? Now, I have this picture of my grandma, and she's sitting with the dog that I had when I was growing up, and she's got a cigarette in her hand, and I so wish I could find that picture, and if I ever find it, I know I have it in the basement. Everything is in the basement. I will throw it up in a video. But she... But these are the only pictures that, I mean, I have tons of pictures of my grandma, but they're all kind of like this, you know? So here's actually a picture of my grandma holding me. I was probably about 5 days old at this point. Well, it's little Peter. We still have that yellow ashtray, actually. I didn't get rid of it. My mom bought it at like this store in Chicago. She's like, never get rid of this ashtray, so I still have that. And then here is my grandma, and this was in our apartment in Chicago, and this was like the same time. Here my mom put on the back of it. 1972, came to help when Peter was born in the kitchen in Evanston, Illinois, making meatloaf. That was my grandma, okay? My grandma could cook like nobody's business. Now, I know she probably worked in the kitchen in prison. Now, people are always like, are you joking about your grandma going to prison? Because I'm having merch made, and it's kind of flowers and stuff on it, and it's going to say my grandma went to prison. I want one, so that's why I want it. I'm working with a graphic designer, and she suggested that we do that, so I think it's a cute idea. I did not know that my grandma went to prison until after my mom had passed away. And then I asked my dad, are there any secrets that I don't know about mom that she told you? And he goes, no. He goes, you know, not really. And I found out a bunch of secrets, actually. Like, she had been in, well, hold on. So anyway, he goes, well, just one. He was like, your mom never wanted, your mom and your Aunt Kathy never wanted you and Caroline to know this, but your grandma had gone to prison for embezzlement. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, apparently she embezzled like quite a bit of money. And she went to prison not once, but twice, Caroline and I found out. There's tons of stories. My cousin Caroline and I are actually working on trying to find out a lot of that information about what happened with our parents and what happened with my grandma. And we're kind of like trying to think about maybe putting this together in some kind of documentary form. We're really investigating and trying to like hunt down like old archives and stuff like that. It's not as easy as you think it is. And Caroline and I have really been like busting our butts to do that. So we're working on that. And I know people want to know some stuff about it, and I want to know about it as well. I also found out that my mom and my aunt spent an entire summer, my mom's summer after high school going into college in Miami, Florida, and they stayed at the Delano the entire summer. And I don't know a whole lot about it, but I found some letters between my mom and a guy that she dated while she was in Miami. My mom told me when we were alive, or she was alive, that she had never gone to Miami. She's like, I've never been to Miami, I've always wanted to go. So she told that lie to me, I believe, because if she told me that she had been there, then she would have to explain how they paid to be there for a whole summer. And so when I asked my aunt about it, my aunt was like, I said, how did you guys afford to live there the whole summer? She's like, I don't know, probably on grandma's embezzled money. So anyway, like, I don't know about all that. But Caroline and I are trying to find it out, and we really like to know. You know, it explains so much about our family dynamics and how our family was and how protective my aunt was of my mom, like unbelievably protective. And so, you know, like, I really want to know a lot more about it. So that's not BS. Like, I joke about it. I joke about it kind of because it's like so unbelievable to me that, you know, like that's not my grandma was like apple pie and playing cards. I mean, she was so good at cards, and now I kind of think I understand why. But anyway, okay, I digress. Let's get into some more questions. Hold on. Why does drama intrigue you? I mean, for me, it started with soaps. Make-believe drama, but why does it make you tick? I think it's the motives for me that's interesting. You know, it's like, why do people do this and why do people do that and all that kind of stuff? Like, I mean, like, I do truly have a love of true crime. By the way, thank you all for introducing me to Bailey Sarian. I love her, and her videos are just aces. I mean, she is so underrated on YouTube. It's unbelievable. She does true crime and makeup. So if you haven't seen it, it's like, I think it's called True Crime Makeup Mondays or something like that. Go check her out. But you know, like, I'm always very, very interested in why people do this or why people do that and whatever, you know, and I know that people don't believe that there is, like, a lot of calculated scheming that goes on behind the scenes, but you have to understand, this is a billion-dollar business. That was, you know, shown to us by this series that Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star did, but they did show it, right? It is a billion-dollar business. You can't take that lightly, okay? When there's billions and billions of dollars going around, this is the other thing that I don't think many people think about, is that behind these YouTubers, there's backers, there's supporters, there's people that are paying their way, okay? There's people that are, you know, like, Nikita Dragon doesn't just come out with a brand, you know, Dragon Beauty, like, with where'd her money come from, okay? Like, I mean, there's sponsors that are paying huge sums of money, you know, based on, like, her pull and things like that. That's what I believe to be true. I could be completely wrong. But, I mean, that's it's true in any other industry. So it's very much the mystery and the intrigue of what goes on behind the scenes. I think there's a lot more that's calculated. I kind of play dumb with a lot of this stuff, you guys, but I'll be honest with you, like, I do a lot of research on this stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that people don't find, and I'm like, this is right in front of your face, and it's kind of like, and it's things that, like, I like to talk about the fun drama, but, like, there's a lot of business transactions that go on behind the scenes that people are just completely unaware of. That is very, very scandalous. These people did not just get to the top by chance. I will just tell you that, okay? I mean, there was a lot more that went into it than that. Okay, have you traveled outside the USA? Yes, lots. What's your favorite book? My favorite book and movie of life are To Kill a Mockingbird. But I will tell you, I just read a couple months ago Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens, and it, like, truly is probably a close second. Okay. What was your favorite episode of the newer episodes of Unsolved Mysteries? The first one was really good. And the one about the guy at the party broke my heart. I can't remember what his name is. I can't remember what his name is. Anyway, that one was really good too. They were all good. I really didn't like the UFO one, and I thought I would like that one the best. Okay. I got a lot of questions about, like, how can I encourage somebody to go into treatment? How can I be supportive of a sibling? How can I be supportive of a spouse that's in recovery? There's a 12-step program called Al-Anon. There's also a 12-step program that's for alcoholics, friends and family of alcoholics. There's also a 12-step program called Nar-Anon, which is for friends and family of addicts. You could go to either one of them, okay? I recommend it. What it will teach you is how to take care of yourself. It's a 12-step program that you work on yourself and who you are in relation to the addict or alcoholic in your life. What you will learn is that you're powerless over alcoholics and addicts, okay? There's not a whole lot that you can do. You can set boundaries with people, you can stop enabling them, and you can get help for yourself. And that would be what I would recommend to anybody out there. You know, when you start changing and getting healthier, because this might sound crazy, okay, but those of us that have addicts and alcoholics in our life that are active, like, we act out as well, you know, and that's why I read so much from Melody Beatty's Codependent No More sister meditation books on my Peterisms channel, because, you know, we think of codependency as being this really scary thing, but it's not. Like, it's just understanding that codependency is how we define ourselves in need of other people, right? Like, I define myself by my interactions with other people instead of defining myself by myself. So we have to work on ourselves and get better in relation to those people. When you start getting healthier, they may want to get healthier too, or what you'll have to realize is, I just have to set healthy boundaries because they may never get healthy, you know? Okay, it's a good question though. Okay, what's your favorite childhood and or recovery memory? My favorite recovery memory is that a bunch of friends and I, Tanya and I, and a bunch of other people, we were friends with like 7 people. We used to always hang out together. We'd go to Lake Norris, Tennessee and rent a cabin in the summers, and it was so much fun. I think the last time we did it was my second year together with Alex, because Alex would go down there too. My favorite childhood memory, I think just playing on the street, like with my friends. Like, the cul-de-sac was always such a safe place for me. I actually, in my vlog the other day, it's the one called Old Stomping Grounds. I drove down my street and I showed the house that I grew up in, and I showed the utility box that my two girlfriends and I, Katie and Jessie, we used to sit on, and we would pop our gum and we would go, Carol Ann from Poltergeist. And listen, you could not come for me with my lip gloss in my pocket and my terry cloth shorts and my matching terry cloth tank top, okay? And my feathered hair at 8 years old. I was gold, okay? I thought I was the cheerleader of the street. You could not get me. Okay. Okay, let's go over to Instagram and get some of those, because this is getting kind of long at this point. Okay, ask me a question. What did I say? How about a good old Q&A? Anything goes. Gonna film it in a few. Let's see. Oh my lord, I got so many responses. Okay, one of my favorite people asked, if you could only use one condiment on your food forever, what would it be? You know, like, that's so hard because I love every condiment, but I would have to say ranch dressing. Don't come for me, okay? I'm from the Midwest. If you could only order one Starbucks drink forever, what would it be? Well, I recently changed it. My drink typically is a venti iced coffee with 2 equal, but I just changed it to a venti iced blonde Americano. This cup is so fantastic. So anyway, that's my new drink, a venti iced blonde Americano, and I would have that for life. Do you make a sustainable living through YouTube? If that's too personal, I am sorry. I don't think that's too personal at all. Yeah, absolutely I do. And but I have other forms of income as well, things that Alex and I are invested in. But yes, you can, and I would encourage anybody to start this as a hobby, as a passion, and if it turns into something else, that's amazing, right? Like my dad always taught me, do what you love and the money will follow, and if the money doesn't follow, at least you do something you love, you know? So I always encourage anybody that they want to start a YouTube channel. Okay. Hold on a second. Rhiannon said, you're my favorite YouTuber and I love you. I love you too, Rhiannon. Rings like a bell through the night. And somebody asked me, who's your favorite member of Fleetwood Mac? Okay, that is the dumbest question in the entire world to ask me. I'm joking. Obviously, I'm the hugest Stevie Nicks fan in the entire world, okay? Not Christine McVie, sorry. Sorry, okay, if you were named after her, but anyway. Okay, what is your dream concert lineup? Oh my God, that is such a good question. Oh my God. I would love to see, oh God, how many, you know, like Stevie Nicks, Bob Dylan, Neil Young, a lot of these people I've seen, you know, Cascade, Rufus Du Sol, who else? Oh shoot, who else would I have in the line? A Marshmello, I love. God, who else would be in that lineup? Who's somebody that I've been listening to a lot? I've been listening to a lot of Meghan Trainor lately. What is that about? Genetics. I have, though. I've been jamming out to her in the car. So many. I should go through my iTunes and just, like, see who. I've been listening to Lizzo, too, lately. Okay, Ingrid Michaelson, I love her. That's our wedding song. So my wedding song was actually Ingrid Michaelson, You and I, or You and Me, or whatever. I don't know which one it's called. Anyway, I have it right here. I could probably look. You and I, it's called. But I love that song, Keep Breathing. I've been listening to that nonstop. Okay, let's see what my other questions are. Thoughts on Big Brother. I'm obsessed, and everybody asks me who I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for Janelle and Kaser. But you know, I have to tell you though, like who I really, really actually like. I love the new Nicole, and I love David. Like, and it's so sad because they're up this week, but I really, really like both of them. That David guy seems like such a sweet guy, and they're like giving him a hard time because he's like newer and he was out first the last time. Even more reason to let him stay around and enjoy the experience. Like, what an ass, okay, to put him up. Like, Memphis is such an ass to put him up and say he needs to learn to play with the big boys. Why don't you allow him to stick around and enjoy the experience? He didn't get to enjoy the experience last time. You can get him out in 3 weeks, okay? Let the guy enjoy the experience of Big Brother. You can only let him be on there 3 weeks in 2 seasons. I mean, like, that is so sad to me, and he's such a nice guy, right? He got put on slop, and he's up on the block. And he saw it coming, too. He's smart. Okay. I don't listen to Spotify. I know, I should. I'm going to start watching Sunset Seas Strip or whatever, Selling on Sunset, because everybody's been talking to me about that. How do you stay so positive? You know, I'm a big believer. Like yesterday I woke up and I was not in a great mood. And I am such a believer that you can start your day over whenever you want. And you know, like, I read this. Did I read this in my Peterisms video yesterday? I don't want to go out because I'm afraid if I go out then I won't be able to come back in. But there is this thing that I have. You don't have to be a religious person, just a spiritual person, or just believe in the universe or whatever. But there's this thing that when I worked in a treatment facility, we used to read every single day. And it's called The Beginning of a New Day. And I really like this. And this is kind of my feeling about life. But if you don't believe in God, you can take it out and put something else in the middle of it. I have it way pulled up so I can see it. The beginning of a new day. This is the beginning of a new day. God has given me this day to use as I will. I can waste it or use it for good. What I do today is very important because I am exchanging a day of my life for it. When tomorrow comes, this day will be gone forever, leaving something in its place I have traded for it. I want it to be a gain, not a loss, good, not evil. Success, not failure, in order that I shall not regret the price I paid for it. And the price that I pay for every single day. See, I get emotional because, listen, you're exchanging a day of your life. What are you doing today? Are you sitting around and being sad and feeling sorry for yourself? Okay, great, right? But you're wasting a day of your life for that. Go out there and do something that will make you happy. Go get a pint of ice cream that will make you happy. Do something, right? But you're trading a day of your life for it. You know, having lost a mother at 64, like, I don't take any of it lightly. I don't take any of it lightly because we could all be gone tomorrow. You know, and there are people that are literally fighting for their lives every single day, you know, that are life support and respirators, and there's kids out there that just want one more day to live. How dare I be so ungrateful that I live my life as if this wasn't a gift, you know? Like, I'm not going to do that. And, you know, if you suffer from things that are, like, keeping you from being able to enjoy life, please, please, please seek, you know, professional help and get what you need so that you can get back on track and, you know, feel like this life is one that is exciting, you know, not just worth living, but exciting to live. This is going to stop. Hold on a second. See, I have a vlog, so I know when it stops. Okay. Let's see. Read a couple more of these. I always try to go through them real fast. Which one of your videos is the best in regards to speaking about your journey to sobriety? I mean, honest to God, if you're going to want to know about a lot of my sobriety, watch my vlog, because I talk the most about it over there. Do you still have your office? I do, but I don't know why. To be honest with you, at this point, like, I haven't even been over there, and I mean, it's been forever. Like, I just don't want to move my crap out of it, and honestly, my rent is really low. So it's like, I always keep on thinking that I'm going to turn it into like a YouTube studio. Alex is like, you should turn it into a YouTube studio, and then you could go over there at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you could film your videos for the next day, and then you could get up, and you could like just, you know, post your videos and enjoy your day. And I'm like, because I'm always up late at night, you know, and I'm like, that's a pretty smart idea. Ask me if I've done it. I haven't. Okay. What does your husband do for work? He's in marketing. Okay. And he does a lot of things on the side, too. Okay, some of these questions are super deep. I got a lot of sexual, listen, y'all, okay? I got a lot of sexual questions on this. What is that about? I don't ever get those kind of questions. And I have to tell you, I got probably like 30 on my Instagram. And I was like, what is going on? People want to know all kinds of business. Okay, somebody asked me, I don't see it on here, but I thought it was a good one. Somebody said, if you could go on a, like if you were, oh, no. Someone said, do you like Olive Garden? I love it, but literally everyone I know hates it. I love Olive Garden. I don't really care. And I dip my breadsticks in the Alfredo sauce. Okay, a little secret for you. My favorite dinosaur, Chelsea Renee, is, I think, a velociraptor. Can you do a day in the life of Boo Radley? So many people ask me, is Boo Radley named after the To Kill a Mockingbird character? Yeah, obviously. I love To Kill a Mockingbird, okay? And Boo Radley is one of the most fantastic characters ever. He is, like, misunderstood. He's kind, he's caring, he's compassionate, but people are afraid of him. And I just think it's such a symbol of so many people in this world that are misunderstood, and people fear them and don't understand them. And so they judge them, right, unfairly, you know? I think about that a lot, you know, with all kinds of people in this world, you know? So I love the character of Boo Radley. I always have, ever since I read the book for the first time. And when I watched the movie with my mom back in the day, Boo Radley is one of my favorite characters. I love the movie To Kill a Mockingbird. You know, it's about the idea of innocence and breaking into this adult world. And maybe, you know, like, if you've never read it and never seen the movie, I highly suggest that you do. And at least anything, see the movie. The movie for me is better than the book, honestly. It is my favorite movie of life. But, you know, it's really about the fact that you don't have to be this deeply complicated adult to understand things, that sometimes, you know, children, that childhood innocence that we had, that wonder and that awe of being, you know, younger, like, gets it a lot better, you know? And I never want to lose that. I never want to lose that looking at something, you know, like being on a vacation and walking into the ocean for the first day and how it feels, and it's so blue and beautiful, you know? Or being somewhere you've never been before and trying a food you've never had, you know? Or seeing things from a simple point of view that, why is it so difficult to just be kind to one another? I don't really get that, you know? So that's why I named Boo Radley, and then Alex named this one right here, Tucker. Come on, bud. Name him Tucker. He wanted to name, we were gonna get 2 dogs way back in the day. We were gonna get miniature, what were they called? The Greyhound ones. I can't remember. We used to look at them. This one was gray. He like shook like this. He was so sweet. I will always get rescue dogs from now on though. But Alex wanted to name either, it was Tucker or London. So he named him Tucker. Yeah, and that's you, right? You need a haircut bad. I know. How did you discover YouTube? I watched YouTube for years and years and years. I watched, back in the day, Chris Crocker, Tyler Oakley, Johnny Boy XO, Kingsley. Glozell Green was like my hands down favorite. Like, I literally would just like sit there and bawl laughing watching her videos. She's such a comedic genius. And like, she's just kind of really let her channel go. What's the Buck? Michael Buckley, I used to watch back in the day and I thought was fantastic. I watched so many people back in the day, you know? Okay. Let's see. Who's been your biggest inspiration? I mean, it changes all the time, right? Okay, wait. I want to see this one. Somebody asked me, Did your relationship suffer when you used alcohol and drugs? Yes, all of them. It was horrible. It took many, many years for it to be fixed. Do I think that Tati will, Valerie asked, do you really think Tati will do a follow-up to her last video? No, I don't. I think she'll just come back and do some kind of fun video of like where I've been, and let me tell you where I'm gonna do going forward. I think Tati's done with it. I think that was her sign off. I'm done with it. Anything that Tati does going forward, I think will be behind the scenes. And I think that was a message that she said that, like, you know, she's gonna, you know, do things with like legal and whatnot. You're wanting all kinds of attention, aren't you? Let me see. Okay, my battery died, so I had to go change my battery because I was at like almost like, this has been like almost 40 minutes, you guys. I'll just do a couple more, okay? But I'm just so happy that you guys asked me all these questions. So I want to go through here and answer just a couple more. Okay, let's see. Do you like the Black Crowes? I like some of their music. Oh, let's see. Top 5 favorite movies. Oh God, that's so hard. To Kill a Mockingbird. Into the Night with Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Pfeiffer is probably a close second. I don't know why, but it just is one of my all-time favorite movies. Halloween, the original with Jamie Lee Curtis. Oh God, what are some of my other favorite movies? Rear Window, the Alfred Hitchcock movie. I don't know. Those are my top 4. Yeah, probably that. Let's see. Have I received a reading from B. Lucille? No, but she has offered, and I really, really want to. She's probably, besides Underground Drag Races on YouTube, B. Lucille, Aphrodite, and Underground Drag Races are probably the 4 things I watch the most right now on YouTube. I mean, I fall down rabbit holes of, like, alien stuff and abandoned houses, but, like, those are the 4 people that, like, 4 things I consistently keep up with. Okay, let's see. Okay, showed pictures of my mom. People wanted to know. And my prison granny, said Amy. Let's see. Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about your childhood? I do that all the time on my vlog and my Peterisms channel. Okay. I'm not answering that question. What's the worst Christmas present you ever received? I did get one, and I'm not going to say it. So, and it wasn't from my husband, but I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. Okay. I mean, it's because the reason I'm laughing is because it is kind of a joke between like my husband and I, because it just was funny. It was like, I just didn't understand it. Well, I'll tell you what, that's not true. Actually, one time, oh my Lord, what's going on? Okay, hold on. Our neighbor's dog was on the patio, so I had to stop for a second. One time, like a year after my mom and I were sober, somebody as a Christmas present got my mom and I each a bottle of wine. We were like, and they knew we were sober. And then they felt so bad. They were like, oh my God, I totally forgot. We were like, okay, but yeah, we'll re-gift this to somebody else. But, okay, let's see. What's the best concert you've been to? Ultra Music Festival, hands down. What is your favorite city in the United States outside of Indiana? I love Gatlinburg, Tennessee, but I would probably say, God, I love Las Vegas and I love Miami. They're so closely tied. I'd have to say Miami. This would probably be a good reason to get an office studio, okay? Because I had to shut the curtains because the dog next door is barking and then our dogs are going crazy. So, anyway, somebody had asked me my favorite memory of pee-pee. You know, there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about pee-pee. Alex and I talk so much about pee-pee. You know, we'll just lay in bed and, like, share videos and just allow ourselves to cry and stuff like that. I just miss him so much, you know? Like, I mean, he was the best, honest to God, he was the best friend that I ever had. And he would just, like, the little guy would just follow me around and stuff. I don't know, I think that my favorite memory of him was just, like, you know, in the morning, like, I would just, like, do stuff in the bathroom, and I'd look in and I'd be like, hey, peeps, what's going on? You know, like, I miss that so much. I miss just seeing him, you know, like in the bed and just being like around here. And it's so hard, you know, it's so hard. The other day, I kind of like really put myself through it. I was watching these Nick and Poncho videos, and I've talked a lot about this, that like Nick and Poncho are like 2 of my favorite YouTubers, and Poncho was a Chihuahua. And there's a video that he did that's called Chow Poncho, and it's just really hard to watch, you know, and I miss that little guy so much. I really, really do. Especially, like, I think when we're laying in bed and, like, I can just, like, imagine that he would be, like, right there. You know, like, that is so incredibly hard. So, that, just, I think him just, like, being there. I think the other thing is, too, like, Pee-Pee would go outside in the backyard and he would, like, chase Boo and Tucker around. And then he would just, like, stop and he would just, like, look up and he'd go. Like, Pee-Pee really, truly taught me, like, I think the art of being present, you know? I think that that was probably one of the greatest lessons that he ever taught me. Okay, let's see. Which type of videos do you enjoy making the most? I don't know, ones where I laugh a lot or cry or get real deep. I don't know, I just like to feel emotion. I think it's fun. I think it's really tapping into like who we really are here, you know, and stuff. Tucker just like went around the curtain. He's like trying to see out there. Okay, let's see. If you were going to buy a velvet couch for your castle in the sky, what color would it be? I wouldn't, so, and I don't have a castle in the sky. Let's see. What's your dream car? I don't know. I'm not like a really big car person. Probably either, like I would love to have like a vintage like Porsche convertible, or like, have you seen those Land Rovers that have like the doors off of them that people like drive on the beach and stuff like that? I would love to have one of those old school like wooden Land Rovers. I think those are really, really cool. Something vintage, you know, like I would have something vintage. Let's see. Our wedding song, somebody asked us. I got so many questions, you guys. Are you a spotless car person, or I'm a spotless car person? My husband's a spotless car person too. It actually is kind of like a pet peeve of mine when you get in. I just said this in my rant video the other day, but it was absolutely the truth. I told my coming out story. I've actually done a coming out video on here. You could probably just Google or YouTube search Peter coming out, Peter Monn coming out. Do you think those Golden Goose sneakers are worth the price? No, I don't. I love them, but I don't think they're worth the price at all. But actually, Kristen Bell had them in the last episode. She had almost, I think they were almost identical to mine. She had the Golden Goose sneakers on the last episode of The Good Place. Okay, somebody in here asked me if I could go to a deserted island with any 3 beauty influencers. The only reason I want to answer this is because I actually really thought about this. And I was stuck there for the rest of my life or something. Like, who would I take? Okay, I would take Laura Lee, because I think that she and I have very similar humor. And I kind of like that she's from the South, you know, she's just like, I know that people like have their issues with Laura Lee, but I feel like she's come a long way. And I really, her videos right now, I don't really care if she ever does makeup videos. Like her videos with Erin, her Halls, her daughter, and well, her niece, but you know, that she adopted, and her husband, Tyler, I love their videos, all of them together as a family. I don't know, I just like, I feel like Laura is somebody that like I would really connect with, because she reminds me a lot of my friends. The next person I would bring is Manny. I think, I mean, a little eye candy on the beach wouldn't hurt for the rest of my life, you know what I mean? And I don't know, like seeing him and Laura together, I think that would be fun to have a group of people that got along, and they're so hilarious, they just kind of play off of each other, so I think that would be fun to have as well. I really like Manny's personality, and I love watching, like, I can watch Manny's, okay, so there's this booktuber, Connor O'Brien, and I don't know any of the books he reads, but I love just watching his videos. It's very similar to me as like B. Lucille, because I just love listening to them, and I love their personalities are so fantastic. Like, I don't care if Manny ever talks about makeup. Like, I think he is so hilarious, and when he gets very real, I like that too. I actually like the very real version of him versus like the most hilarious thing, but he's like funny to me. And then the last person I would pick would be Bailey Sarian, because of course I want somebody to talk about true crime with, and she is just absolutely fantastic anyway. I love her. So that would be the 3 people that I would pick to be on a deserted island with for the rest of my life. Okay. And let me see. Let me pick one more question. I mean, do I believe in ghosts? Somebody asked me, how'd you know you were gay? How'd you know you were straight? I mean, like, I love when people ask me that. I mean, I'm not trying to offend you, but like, I mean, if you're a guy and you're growing up and you find other guys attractive and you have crushes on, people always think it's like this weird, deep thing, right? No, it's butterflies in your stomach. It's the same thing that you feel, right? If you're a woman, if you're a girl and you're in 5th grade and you see this boy and he gives you butterflies in your stomach, you know, and you think about him, it's the same thing for us. It is no different, you know. I mean, just because you're, you know, attracted to people of the same sex, it's no different. You know, it's the same thing. And I think that's where like people don't understand like bisexuality or pansexuality or whatever. It's really no different. I mean, these are just like different names to the same feeling, I think. You know what I mean? Those butterflies in your stomach that you get, that you can't wait to see that person and be with that person, and you know, you watch their every move and you think about them all the time. It's really just not deep, no deeper than that. You know, it's really that ignited feeling of love in your heart, I think. You know, that it starts with all of us. We all have that, you know what I mean? A crush. It's as simple as that, you know? We want to make this world this very, very complicated place, and it really, really isn't. I think that, you know, for all of us, it starts with that feeling inside that you have, and that's how I knew. So anyway, the dog next door is barking again, so I gotta go. Anyway, I know this was really, really long. Thank you guys for watching. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.